Hey there, welcome back to Noita. I'm Supper of Let's Supper Together. Yesterday, I alluded to, during the Essence run, the Blood Moon run, while I was getting the Essence of Spirits, well, we found something, is what we did. Below the Frozen Vault, to the right at the very bottom of the lake, the Forgotten Cave, everybody, with this floating half ball sack floating in the air, mocking me. You'll see why in a sec. It's not a physical object. It can't be hit, it can't be destroyed. The green crystal is the resuscitation stone. It will revive or heal an enemy, even the boss, if it is destroyed. There was an eyeball stand on the center of the boss pedestal there. That produces ghost enemies. You might have seen them before on the left of the world, where ghosts you can't kill, but they can kill you. Really annoying. You don't want to activate it, but that's what the eyeball stands are for, but this seems to be a floating one. And we had a really good wand, couldn't touch it. So my first immediate thought was to go around destroying all the eyeball stands in the massive frozen biome that's below the frozen vault and a little bit to the right of it. It's huge. I spent about half an hour trying to destroy all these things. And the green crystals as well, if I came across any resurrection stone, which they're all around here. So you've got a load of ghosts trying to kill you, and a load of regular enemies too. We come back, and it's lost its pupil. It has no pupil anymore, but also, it started spewing out tiny eyeballs as well, so I thought I was making some progress. I thought, hey, I thought we got this, you know, we're moving forward, and we're gonna kill it. It still wasn't a physical object. And we could destroy the eyeballs. The little eyeballs do electric damage. Really tedious. They do eventually disappear, or you can kill them. They just pop, and yeah, very kind of intriguing. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Really wanted to get to the bottom of this, but the eyeball, of course, you go to think, what are there eyeball related in what's eyeball related in the game? We tried to tablet it, we tried to, well, do many things. Nah, essences couldn't touch it, so I figured some investigation was necessary. So, one of the first things that sprung to mind, obviously, when you're talking about eyeballs in the game, was this new thing that's been added in the beta branch. The Cursed Eye. Looks like the Eye of Sauron, really. And this shoots out a laser beam, which allows you to dig through powders and some soft objects. Really useful, semi-dangerous. Also, it's got a few hidden qualities as well, some of which we'll get into a tiny bit later. However, this time we go through the actual frozen vault, matter-eatering all the way down, just get a little orb on the way, you know? Never turn down an orb of true knowledge, but obviously just bucking our way through the hard rock here, all the way into the frozen caves. Again, this is really deep, so you're going to need some good digging, or at least have some patience. You know, instead of dealing with all the enemies on the way down, dealing with the lake, which can be quite laggy, well, doesn't really matter when you've got a loadout like this. Have some fun along the way. Alright, Uko, how you doing, man? Yeah, feels freezing. Actually quite warm, ironically. But, again, another Uko saved, and with the Cursed Eye in hand, we see there is a skull floating around, a really weird skull, but no half-flying ball testicle floating around the air. Now, I immediately thought that this carrying the eye actually turned the floating ball sack into this floating skull. It does contact damage. Of course, the resuscitation stone and the eyeball stand are still there. This thing floats around, presumably doing curse damage. You can actually destroy these things. However, if you've got a range with the eyeball, you can no longer see the skulls floating around. However, when we went out into the world, when we went out into the frozen, we started seeing more and more. They were all around the place, so I assumed, and as you see, we take one down relatively easy. However, you have to have the eyeball out in your inventory, out in your hand, or you can also throw it on the ground and then shoot it with a wand also. But you see there's two there together at the same time, meaning, you know, it just wasn't the floating eyeball ball sack half thing. These things were a little bit tedious considering they are ethereal and can go through terrain, depending what type of setup you've got. And this is a really tricky challenge. Obviously, throw in the Cursed Eyeball to delete them. I'm pretty sure you could also delete the actual eyeball stand as well. but no sign of the eyeball at all. We go back to double check, and I feel like I missed something. This may be bugged. There's been a few teething problems in the beta branch with this, but hey, definite progress. Once again, I feel like we're making some good discoveries here. I feel like it's not completely over yet, you know? That didn't feel like a boss fight, it didn't feel like a conclusion to the story. We dig around everything just to make sure there's nothing hidden, that the eyeball isn't hidden away in the rock. Those skulls, they're kind of like nothing else in the game, although it brings to mind those floating bugs in the Temple of the Art. Having a floating skull makes you wonder what this connection is with the lore of the game. The floating eyeball in general, like where does that come in with the cursed eye? Who knows? Any comments down below? Again, I'm really intrigued about this, but we will continue further down our investigations. So as we get back into another game, obviously I feel like I'm on the right track. With the cursed eye, we book it again with the noit'ed teleport bolt really fast. Again, down the side of the lake this time, because I have a feeling I might be able to trick the game. Since we've seen the eyeball ball sack half thing without the cursed eye, but when we bring the cursed eye it wasn't there, leave the cursed eye at the side, go see the eyeball, and then go back for the cursed eye. See what happens. So again, the eyeball is there, this time with its pupil and spewing out little friends, as well as a little ghost worm for our acquaintance. And of course, I feel like we've done enough, we've confirmed the sighting now. We rush back as fast as possible. We don't want the boss disappearing on us. Noita bosses have a habit of just running away and disappearing. If you remember early access and the pyramid boss, who was under the skull in early access, he would just fly into the sky and run away. However, my friends, yes, I knew those dark skulls were not the real thing, so it is obviously the cursed eye that triggers the boss fight. You even get a health bar. It looks like he's got a little symbol on the top of his head. He's got one eye. It looks like it's missing. Maybe his eyeballs are in the actual pedestal, summoning the ghost enemies. He does a retaliatory attack. I'm sure he probably attracts the other skulls, but we get so close. We throw our cursed eye on the ground. We've got luminous drills, and yeah, with the luminous drills we accidentally destroy our cursed eyeball. And of course you need it to be able to attack him, otherwise he goes ethereal again and there's no way you can kill him. He did have a retaliatory attack, and I rage quit. I think we've got it though. This time, my friends. This time. So we return once more. Same plan as before, with a few minor alterations. Again, because we got faster swimming, breathless, we just bucket down the water. It's actually faster than digging, but we make the same kind of pattern. Gonna throw the cursed eye yet again. However, we made an alteration to our wand where we don't use luminous drills anymore. I think it was a good move, considering the ramifications of using such a weapon in this boss fight when you've got a physical object that can't be destroyed. We do also destroy the resuscitation stones beforehand as well, just so the boss can't heal mid-fight. We go back, and the dangers, my friends, the dangers of the cursed eye are manifest. If you throw it on the ground, it's still got the laser beams. So we're back once again in the fight. It's lost its eyeball again. I'm pretty sure if you destroy the pedestal on the altar, that's its actual eye. So I don't know if there's any connection or anything you can do with that. As soon as you actually attack the boss, that's when it starts its retaliatory purple orbiting. Make sure you've got a lot of levitation or able to take this damage. I assume it's quite a lot of HP because this wand is pretty chunky. And at first, I think, oh my god, we just get a full HP for this boss fight? That's all we get? However, we do find a little something on the floor. The Ring on Simon. and we realise that if we stand still and we bring out the cursed eyeball, there's a little aura that follows you around. It's barely visible, but you can actually see the purple skulls. I'm not sure if it's because I've got the cursed eye on my inventory that we can see that aura, but we thought it might have been the owl ring. There's pops there. You notice the little pops? I thought it might have been something else from the boss fight. However, that is connected to the owl ring. If you're running, this little piece of equipment will essentially make little gunpowder on the floor. We chuck it in the Eye of Sauron. Nothing. Nothing at all. We also, you know, a little disappointed by that. We're going to throw the cursed eye in as well. You know, maybe it required both and me to stand in there. Nothing at all. We take it back. We take it to the altar. Now, this is really cool. I bring out the owl ring, and it changes the actual nature of the brickwork around the altar, which I don't know what type of brickwork it changes or why, but there's several things that we're going to go through right now. Have you noticed the altar is green? The actual writing underneath it? Remember that. And we chuck it on the altar. Nothing doing there. We come to the pyramid, and look at the very top of the pyramid right now while we slow it down. The eyeball there might have some connection to the eyeball that we've just taken out. It changes and covers it up. I have no idea. Again, this is all mysterious to me still. Any comments down below? Get your theorizing done. I'm so interested to hear. So the gunpowder effect is even more present when it's near powders. Again, I'm not sure of the full mechanics behind this. I assume it's just... And again, it'll change subtle little bits of brickwork. We even go to the moon, just to see if there's anything there. We chuck it in the moon. But it also changes the effects of the moon also. The plot thickens, my friend. And I just don't know what's going on. I was really confused whether, you know, it was just a nice little effect or there's some deeper meaning behind this. Especially after we eat a little bit of the moon. You know, you've got to have some cheese. Modified cheese, especially after you get to the Holy Mountain. The writing is yellow. As we go close with the O-ring, it goes green, just like the altar. So I am not sure. This also disappears the wordings, the letters off the actual perk altar as well. And that happens for all of the Holy Mountain writing. The anvil also changes. There's going to be plenty of different materials in the game that changes. But obviously I didn't have time to go everywhere. However, the actual triangle door changes into brickwork also. I don't know if it was brickwork before, but it definitely changes it into just a solid uniform colour. It still works as the door, even though we use a matter eater and lumi drill through it. It still operates as a door. Still has the repulsion. So it didn't affect it. And it didn't have any demagification properties. I was wondering if the boss would eat it like a gourd, but it also hurts the boss very slightly, so I wonder if it can be used as a physical object to actually damage the boss. Or any other enemy in the game. However, if you have any idea about this O-ring on Steam'n, let me know, because I ran out of ideas. Although, I didn't go everywhere. But thank you for watching. I've been Suffer of Let's Suffer Together. If you like the content, always consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel, commenting down below, or checking us out on twitch.tv/Let's Suffer Together, where we stream pretty much daily Noita content, as well as some other roguelite games. On the odd occasion, we do get into one game, and that game at the moment is Noita. And the updates keep on coming, my friends. And I'm excited for the future. Thank you, Nola Games, and thank you to the entire community of Noita. I'll catch you next time, my friends. See you soon.